What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today's video is actually going to be more of like a rant slash like constructive criticism slash feedback suggestion video. No, it's not about Escape from Tarkov. It's about another game that I love a lot, and that game is Battlebit Remastered. The point of today's video is really just going to be my personal opinions on class balance within Battlebit, because after about having put in 250 hours in the game, 120 since launch and about 130 in the playtests, I've kind of come to a certain opinion that the classes in Battlebit are just not really balanced well. If for whatever reason you aren't familiar with the classes in the game, there are 6 of them. You have Leader, Assault, Medic, Engineer, Support, and Recon. The first class, the Leader role, is frankly kind of useless. This class was actually left over from the original design of the game. For you guys that don't know, Battlebit actually started as a hardcore milsim style game like Squad. However, the developers quickly realized that because of the game's art style, it didn't really support the accessibility that they were looking for. And by accessibility, games like Squad and say Arma 3 milsim operations are not easy for certain gamers just to kind of hop in and play. So that's why they decided to change the core fundamentals of the game and make the game, in a sense, more casual. If you've ever played Battlefield or Call of Duty before, Battlebit's going to be a pretty easy game for you to hop in and understand. It doesn't take a lot of communication and or teamwork to just hop in and get some rounds in and have fun. Whereas games like Squad, it requires a lot of communication. It requires a good server and team working together in order to get the full experience. And if you're not getting that, it's kind of a mess. So since they've changed their original design goals to what Battlebit is now, the Leader class is still in here. And there's really nothing special about him. I've never really seen anybody play this role. There's no gadgets that he has that make him unique, and there's no perks that he has that make him unique either. Currently in the game, if you're a squad leader, meaning you've created a squad or you're the first one in a squad, it gives you the ability to place rally points down. The leader isn't required to put down a rally point. However, once the hardcore mode is introduced to the game, which will be more like the original design, making it much more of a milsim style shooter with different features like friendly fire, player collision, changes to player movement, and maybe even progression, the leader role will likely be reintroduced then. For now, this class is completely underused, pretty useless, and it will likely get removed from the current Battlebit experience to be then later introduced in that hardcore mode that I talked about. The next class we're going to talk about is also kind of useless, and that's the Assault class. The only 2 unique things about this class, well, I guess 3, because there is one gadget that it has that no other class has, but it has a 20% faster reload speed, as well as having a 20% faster ADS time compared to every other class. However, that's really not enough to make anybody want to play it. It has a really poor selection of weapons, so you only have assault rifles. You have the same gadgets as everybody else, and the smoke grenade launcher is available on the medic as well. The assault class has one unique gadget, which is the riot shield. Frankly, the riot shield, in my opinion, is kind of a gimmick. It requires level 100 in order to make use of it, and at the end of the day, it's really not that good. I've never really seen many players ever focus on using this item, and the only time where it can be useful is if you're coordinating and working with a team of people that you're talking to, and you're pushing through like a tighter corridor or hallway. But even then, a lot of the time what ends up happening is somebody throws a grenade behind you and kills you, or somebody flanks you and shoots you in the back. So this gadget alone, in my opinion, is not worth choosing the Assault class for. The next class we're going to talk about, which is the Medic, is by far the most powerful class in the game, and this is for a couple of reasons. Main reason being, it is the best experience farm in the game. There is no shortage of people that need to be revived and no shortage of people that need to be healed on your team. And the Medic can get anywhere from 30 to 50,000 experience in a round without ever having to kill an enemy player. So if you're wanting to level up, this is going to be one of the best classes to play. Not only that, it has an incredibly good selection of weapons. They have assault rifles, they have submachine guns, they have personal defense weapons, and carbines. They also have pretty much the same gadgets as every other class. The only unique gadget that they have is the medkit. And the medkit is incredibly powerful for survivability. If you're a good player, you're probably playing medic and you're using this class to heal yourself. I'm guilty of this. I play it for selfish reasons because the TTK in Battlebit's really quick. You get shot once or twice. If you're at 40-50% HP, you're basically one shot at that point, and being able to top yourself off is just a huge plus. They also have no unique throwables. The Engineer is also another really great class. This is your demo man, your breacher, anti-vehicle class. Pretty straightforward. This class actually has a better selection of weapons compared to the Medic, having everything that Medic has with the addition of DMRs. The Engineer has the best selection of weapons to use. On top of that, they have some cool gadgets, with a unique primary gadget being the anti-tank mine as well as the repair tool. This repair tool is also available on the secondary slot if for whatever reason you don't want to use it on your primary. They have fragmentation rockets, heat explosive rockets, optic variants of these rocket launchers, as well as the tandem rocket launcher. This thing is insanely strong, super good for taking out vehicles. It's a beast. A lot of players who play engineer who are hunting vehicles always use this because I think if you hit a tank in its weak spot, it's a 2-shot kill. If you hit it in strong point, it's a 3-shot kill. And I believe it 2 shots IFVs. And yeah, it's just super strong, really good rocket launcher. And they have one unique throwable. And the engineer is actually the only class in the game that has a unique throwable, which is the anti-vehicle grenade here. I don't see a lot of people using these, but it's cool that this is here. And the fact that this is unique to the engineer class, I think is really awesome. The next class we have is the support. Support's main perk is the fact that they can build instantly. So if you're any other class and you put sandbags down, you have to put down the sandbag and then hold F on it in order to build the sandbag up, where the support class builds these things instantly. They also have a unique like HESCO pillar that's unique to this class and that nobody else can build, which is really cool. And so if you're a good player playing a support, you can essentially Fortnite and like build cover instantly on the fly and like be a very defensive character. On top of that, they also have unique armor. They have the exo helmets and they have the exo body armor, which is the heaviest armor in the game. Armor in Battlebit essentially works like extra HP. The extra armor on this character is a massive advantage to this class and can actually save your life in many situations, mainly towards snipers, because the exo helmet is the only helmet in the game that will actually save you from the one shot of a sniper. Every other class gets one shot in the head, even if you are wearing a light helmet. The exo helmet will save your ass, and again, like you'll be glad that you were playing support wearing that exo helmet when that sniper dings you in the head. On top of that, they also have a pretty poor selection of weapons. They only have light support guns and light machine guns. They also only have one unique gadget, which is the heavy ammo kit. The small ammo kit is also available on the assault class, but there's really no reason to choose the small ammo kit over the heavy kit because the heavy ammo kit can resupply everything, including primary, secondary gadgets and grenades, whereas the small ammo kit can only resupply primary, secondary magazines, as well as your first aid bandages. The last class is Recon. This class is pretty straightforward. It's your sniper. They have access to DMRs and sniper rifles. And, you know, if you're a sniper and you want to do long range stuff, this is going to be your desired class. They have 2 unique gadgets. And the reason why I say 2 is because the air drone is also available on the leader role. But like I said, nobody really plays that class. And so they have the drone as well as the MDX-201. The MDX-201 is basically a scope glint bait. So if you're using any long range scope on a sniper rifle, you're going to emit a glint. This kind of helps throw your enemies off and kind of makes them think that you're the sniper. But if you're a smart player, you kind of learn the pattern of these because they basically go glint on, glint off, glint on, glint off. And if you are experienced enough, you'll know what's an MDX and what's an actual sniper scoping in on you. And plus, at the end of the day, most snipers end up using 4X scopes, so they don't have to deal with the glint. So that way they can kind of keep their position a little bit more discreet. These are the unique things about the Recon class. Again, they also don't have any unique throwables. So now we're going to kind of get into the more controversial part of the rant. And I would recommend that you guys please keep an open mind, try and understand what I'm trying to say, and understand that these are just my personal opinions based on my time put into the game. Before I get into this part of the rant, I do think that buffing the other classes instead of removing and adjusting gear, which is what I'm going to suggest, I think buffing the other classes would be the best solution in order to make each class more interesting. And so I guess I'll kind of start with those suggestions. And so my first suggestion is going to be adding underbarrel grenade launchers to the assault class. I know the developers have been hesitant about grenade launchers because they think that they're kind of annoying to balance. And I kind of agree. Having like noob tube spam would be kind of bad. But I personally don't think grenade launchers would be a problem if they're balanced correctly. In my mind, grenade launchers would be an item used to finish people off. It wouldn't be something to outright kill people. If you landed a direct impact hit on a 40mm grenade launcher on a player, it would only do maybe 40 to 50 damage. Kind of similar to how the 30mm cannon on the IFV or the light tanks function. They wouldn't have the same trajectory nor the same distance or projectile speed, but they would have like a similar damage proportion because I believe that the 30mm cannon does about 40 damage a shot. And then if you deal splash damage, it does about 20 damage on the splash. And that's when it's like kind of going up next to you and not a direct impact. The reason why I think underbarrel grenade launchers would be a fantastic addition to the assault class, because it would be the first addition of a gadget that would actually be very defining to this role. And it actually give people a reason to want to play the assault class. Because again, every other class has the same gadgets. The assault class literally only has a riot shield, and there's nothing that it has that really makes it a, I guess, interesting class. It doesn't make it desirable. In my mind, underbarrel grenade launchers are awesome because I'm somebody who played a lot of Battlefield, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3. In Battlefield 3, the medic was kind of merged with assault, which was removed from the original Battlefield games, but they still had the underbarrel grenade launcher. And one of my favorite things to do was if I saw a guy, I shot him a couple times, he went behind cover and I knew he was still maybe holding that corner, I would noob tube the corner and finish him off because I know he was already pretty low. And that's what I think the grenade launcher would be really good for. I know noob tube spam could potentially get annoying, but I feel like if it was a thing in this game, it would make the assault class so much fun. Also, I'd like to see it do some destruction to buildings as well. Not as much of a blast radius as an RPG or C4, but if it were to hit a brick wall, it would blow open maybe like 3 to 5 bricks to create an opening. And if somebody was, say, like right next to that opening where you hit, it would deal full damage, acting like a direct impact, because like it'd be like shrapnel hitting them. But you'd be able to create an opening to then shoot through it, because you could go noob tube right to your primary and instantly, kind of kill that guy. Because again, a lot of the engagements in this game come down to milliseconds, so seconds, milliseconds matter. The only class that kind of has a similar playstyle to this currently is the engineer role with rocket launchers. However, you have to pull the rocket launcher out, use the rocket, put the rocket launcher away, then pull your primary out to do that. Whereas being able to go noob tube to primary is much quicker and just much more effective in those kinds of engagements and situations. So I personally think the addition of underbarrel grenade launchers to the assault class would be a really awesome addition to this class and really just give it that class defining gadget that it needs to be unique. Next suggestion that I'm going to have is actually for the support class. I personally think that the support class should have a either primary or secondary gadget that is something that resupplies armor. This could even just be included in the heavy ammo kit, because the heavy ammo kit already resupplies everything that you have: primary, secondary mags, first aid, primary gadgets, secondary gadgets, as well as throwables. Armor is really important. And I know the developers don't feel like armor is that big of a deal, but again, the TTK and Battlebit's really quick. Armor matters, especially on the support role. And the reason why it's so important on support is because this is the slowest moving class in the game for 2 reasons. One, the exo helmet and exo armor slows you down a ton. And carrying around these big, heavy, light machine guns also slows you down a ton too. But guess what happens when that armor gets shot off your character? There's no way of getting it back. And guess what? You're also still super slow. So not only are you just as squishy as everybody else playing the support class, you also are slow as hell, making yourself a very easy target, giving you no maneuverability. Because really experienced players typically will play medic and they don't put any armor on, and they have super fast movement speed and they're really hard to hit. So not having that movement speed sucks. So giving them the ability to resupply that armor once it's been lost, I think would be a huge bonus to this class, and also other classes as well, making it actually something that players want to play, because if they know that the support class can give them the helmet and body armor back that they just lost in a firefight, that would be awesome. Because if you are in a good team, your medics are reviving you and you're staying alive in engagements and you're not always just respawning. So I think armor resupply on this class would be pretty awesome. So now I'm going to get again into the little bit more of a controversial take, and that is really coming down to gadgets, specifically the primary gadgets. I personally think anti-personnel mines, C4, and claymores, as well as the suicide C4, should not be available on medic. And I think that these gadgets need to be spread around the classes to be a little bit more diverse and unique. I personally think that the assault class and the engineer class should be the only class in the game with C4, with the engineer having more C4 than assault. And then the AP mines and claymores should only be available on a support and recon. The reason why I feel like C4 should be on assault and engineer is because, well, assault is kind of an aggressive type of class. They're meant to push and be aggressive, whereas the engineer is also a demo guy. He has explosives. It makes sense that they would have these. On top of that, I also think that assault could have unique grenades as well. Like engineer, that has the unique anti-tank grenade, I think flashbangs and impact grenades being exclusive to the assault class would also give it that slight edge that it needs to make it feel unique. Flashbangs and impact grenades are super aggressive. They're something that are kind of, meant to be really fast and pushing, clearing rooms, so on and so forth. And the assault class, I think, is a perfect fit for these types of items. And if they were only on the assault class, again, it would just give it that little bit of an extra edge to encourage people to want to play this class. The reason why I think that support and recon should have the anti-personnel mines as well as the claymores is because these are more defensive type of roles. Since support is somebody who builds structures and defenses and also is very slow, they're typically holding corners and angles and creating a defensive structure somewhere on the map. Or recon is kind of doing something similar, but they're typically engaging at longer distances. Since they are like camping in a spot and taking out targets at range, they'll usually use like AP mines and claymores to like cover their back, just because since they're busy sniping people, those mines and claymores would make sense for them to have to, cover their avenue of approach if they're in a building or something. And so I think moving these gadgets around would actually create a much more unique experience and make each class much more diverse and have a much more of a specific purpose. I feel that every class having the same exact gadgets on the primary slot hurts the game and hurts the class balance within Battlebit. Because at the end of the day, if every class has the same gadgets, the gadgets are something that are supposed to make each class feel very unique. Those are the things that people are usually chasing when they are looking for a specific class, because those gadgets are used for specific roles on the battlefield. When everybody has them all, they're all kind of the same. My biggest argument for that is Medic is literally just a better assault class, because they have the same primary gadgets, they have better selection of weapons, and, you know, they can heal themselves. Like, why would you ever want to play Assault over Medic? There's really no reason to. Assault, I really believe, is just something that needs more gadgets to really make it unique. Like I said, giving them unique grenades, giving them the underbarrel grenade launcher, and giving them C4 so that they are that true aggressor style class. However, they wouldn't be able to heal themselves. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. That's kind of the end of the rant for the most part. Again, this is really the only negative stuff I have to say about Battlebit. I love this game, and there's really not a lot that I hate. But these are just opinions that I've actually come to realize over a couple hundred hours now put into the game. If you guys want to talk about it and have a discussion about what you think I talked about here in the comments, please leave a comment down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, try and, you know, keep a level head. I'm down to have a discussion with you guys in the comment. Try not to read too hard. I know a lot of Medic mains are probably fuming right now, but hopefully you guys, again, understand what I'm trying to say. And again, these aren't things that I think absolutely need to happen. These are just things I think that would definitely help make each class more unique and, you know, help balance out the game. Because right now, let's be honest, Medic's super overpowered and Assault is totally underused. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out. Take care. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully I'll see you guys out on the Battlebit battlefield. Thanks for watching, everyone.